Hello, everybody. I want to talk, if it comes up, yes, about innovation from a more sort of philosophical work-life point of view. How maybe we can increase innovation through that approach. And when I say innovation, I kind of mean the innovation of anything. It's a broad word. It could be invention, like, you know, the new fusion reactor. It can be innovation on a design principle. It can be on a process. It can be innovation of just ideas or incremental innovation, like we've got electric cars and we're making them better. Now, innovation comes, I believe, through both our intelligence and our emotions. It comes from both sides. It's intelligence and all those beautiful things around it, our intuition, our love, our passion, our creativity, craft, curiosity, and skill that spurs innovation. And it's borne us to new heights as a civilization, as humanity. And I think our society itself is based on progress, this progress of this combination of intelligence and humanity. So with that, I'm a little concerned. And I'm concerned because this is the question I'm asking myself. Why has technology and science moved so amazingly fast? Super fast. It speeds along at breakneck speed. We can almost not even keep track of what's going on. And yet the growth of management, the innovation of ideas and humanity around that in business moves so amazingly slow. It really does. And an example of what I mean in technology is our ability to leapfrog. So take this example in communications, you know, the basic human need to connect. When China or Africa or other developing countries or countries that were developing needed to create telecommunications infrastructure, did they copy the United States or America and say we're going to lay gazillions of kilometers of copper wire? No. They said, how do we innovate and leap? And we're just going to put up cell towers everywhere. It's cheaper, it's faster, it's a leapfrog. They didn't copy us. And yet, while it's really, really easy to come up with these ideas and technology, it's not so easy. I mean, sure, there are some, but it's not so easy to look at innovations in the way we work, in our philosophy and our management of working. In fact, I would argue that very little has changed in 200 years. There's been incremental change, sure, but very little has changed. And I'm a real proponent of asking why multiple times. Why? Why is the sky blue? Well, because it's blue and it's not red. Well, why is it blue and not red? Why does it refract that light and not other light? And as you get deeper, then you kind of get to understanding. And I think a big reason of that is the Industrial Revolution. That's one of the first answers to why hasn't much changed. Now, the Industrial Revolution did give us some cool things. There was automation, manufacturing, machinery, where we were able to mass produce. Not just mass produce, but mass market. All the mass marketing and media and advertising and branding came after that. And then we were able to reduce costs. Everything's on sale. We can buy. And then we can ship it globally. We can mass produce in one place, market it and ship it out. Along with the Industrial Revolution was the University Revolution, which was mostly paid for by the industry because they needed workers for their jobs. Make no mistake that this was some sort of philanthropic cause. And yes, again, there were some good benefits. Literacy and other things improved. But there's also a downside, I think, to the Industrial Revolution. And that downside is that previously in our life, humanity, society was about continuous improvement and reinvention of our traditional paradigms. We constantly reworked things. We had periods like the Renaissance, and throughout history, the Age of Cathedrals, the Bronze Age, Stone Age, all these ages. After the Industrial Age, that was replaced with best practice. This is the way you do something. This is the process. These are the rules. Behave the rules. Come in, clock in, do your job. Don't ask questions, clock out. The university was the same way. This guy, who many people don't know, Edward Coverley, designed the university system, or helped design in the United States, to do what? To create mediocre intellects for a docile citizenry. No kidding. They took discovery and challenge, as we have as kids, that sense of nature and curiosity and well, why do I have to do it this way? And isn't there a better way? And they said, no, it's now going to be replaced with rote memorization, directed and standardized learning and tests, and let's just learn to the lowest possible level so everybody can be stupid. And the reason for that is because what they really wanted, it wasn't humans and craft and skill. They wanted robotic workers. Show up, do your job, do what you're told, drill the hole, attach the bolt, write this paperwork, push this process, done. The second reason I think there's a problem about our sort of progression is we have a very old brain living in a modern world, and it's struggling. We're really conflicted. I mean, think about this. We're millions of years old in evolution, and just the amount of crazy change that's happened. It's like we're sitting on an airplane flying. We're conflicted because on the one hand, all of our philosophies say we should embrace change, that it's a constant. You just have to go with it. But on the flip side, with all this rapid change, we crave stability. And we need that stability in some ways because they create belief systems. And we need belief systems so we don't have to keep questioning everything, like, is this roof going to fall on my head? I don't have to worry about that. And these belief systems, we need to just have them set in stone so we just don't have to think about them. We can answer questions quickly, and we want that stability. But it creates what I call crystallization. Our brains solidify. We inherit these belief systems. And we kind of then not just inherit them, we stop challenging them. Like as kids, we forget what it's like to challenge them. All of a sudden, we don't object anymore. We're just sheep. We follow the rules, and we go, oh, this must be the best way. Not only do we do that, we have trouble sorting out the questions anymore. And we even go so far as we defend our old belief systems, even if we know they're not right, because that's what we believe in. And that's what we've always done. And maybe we're afraid to say, oh, I was wrong for 20 years. Or 10 years. So we have these inherited old belief systems that crystallize our brain. A lot of it through the Industrial Revolution, what we were taught, a lot of it just because we have a hard time adapting. And I think that crystallization means we're literally stuck. We're kind of stuck. We go really slowly for that reason. It's a very slow process. So while technology speeds ahead, humanity is not speeding ahead. And I want us to stop and think about that, and what does that mean for innovation? And how do we not start copying our inherited belief systems and create new ones? And stop looking at a world in the past and adopting these old rules that are maybe no longer relevant to our modern day. Because this guy was smarter than me, Einstein. He said a great quote: problems cannot be solved by the same level of thinking that created them. We must step out. We must think free. And I've got some ideas on how we can do that, and I want to question a few things first. For example, why do we want robotic workers anymore? We are not machines. We are humans. And we're very different than machines, being humans. Our purpose, our emotions that we have inspiration, we have passion. Mess that one up. Machines do not. They don't. Our purpose in life is to live. It is not to work. The purpose of a machine is to work. We crave variation like every single thing in life, the ecosystem. Nothing in life does one thing. But machines, they're fine with it. So why should we like monotony? And finally, life is short. A machine can potentially live forever in perpetuity. But our life is short and precious. We are not machines. My point is very simple. It's that machines do not innovate. They really don't. And cats don't innovate. No, as cute as they are. Humans innovate. Only humans. Innovation is a unique and profound act of humanity, and we must feel human to innovate and stop being machines and being treated like machines. Frustrated people are not creative. They're just not. They're pissed off. Angry people are not productive. Okay, I'll do my job. Demotivated people don't innovate or create. They just don't, guys. Let's look at another myth that we've accepted, which is that of the work-life balance. I love this one, the duality of work-life now. And what I mean by duality, it's very much like the religious duality, which is suffer now, because over here, when you die, you're going to go to heaven. Yay! Right? It's work now, do what you're told, and when you retire, when you got that dodgy knee and that bad hip and the bad back and you're 65 and you're really not so sprightly, then you can do what you want. Well, here's some harsh reality, guys. This is from WHO in 2010. Average age in Central and Eastern Europe, 72 years old. For a man. You girls get a little extra lifespan. This is average retirement age from 2012. My point is, work is life. We have been lied to for 200 years that it's not personal, it's just business. What? It's intimately personal. It is our life. We spend more time with our colleagues than our lovers. And you're telling me it's not personal? Of course it's personal. We've been lied to. It's intimately personal. I don't want to end my duality like this when I've got 7 years left to live. This doesn't make innovation. This makes repression. So with that, I'm trying to speed through this. Sorry about the translators. I'm going to have 20 ideas on maybe how we can more humanly innovate and treat each other like people. 20 ideas for action. Here we go. Elevate culture to the level of importance of profit. Yes, I'm sorry, Wall Street, but you've gone too far. Profit over people sucks, and we all know it. I don't care about you 1% when you are mean. Elevate culture to the level of importance of profit. And by the way, I think that's the only way, as companies get bigger, that you maintain that sort of passion and coolness. Stop hiring on skill and hire on culture. It's hard. Trust me, I do it, but it's hard. Grow slower. We're always told that fast is good. Why? Why is fast good? What is wrong with the Mittelstand company in Germany that keeps innovating, has 200 people, and has grown 4% year over year? And they're happy. They're making great new products. Grow slower, because when you grow slower, you actually preserve your purpose. The faster you grow, the more you just lose things. You add so many people, hire 50 people in a year. How do you spread that culture? How do you keep the purpose? You don't. And a culture will just create without you in different little pockets. So challenge all these things. Why is bigger is better? Small units. I say as soon as you get to 125, 150 people maximum, get a whole new building. Because what happens after that? Nobody knows each other. Your economies of scale are actually false because you get in these procurement cycles and all these other horrible things, and it goes out of crazy. Just duplicate everything, because the intimacy you'll get when everybody knows each other and who to talk to and who to solve problems with far outweighs in productivity your cost savings of a few % on IT. A little example I have about that is, imagine in the old days. I don't think humans were ever meant to sit 500 people on a floor like they do at HP or other big companies. I hope they're not a sponsor. Imagine a tribe of 500 people hunting a mammoth. Insanity. This is ridiculous. We were never meant to organize in such large groups. So why? Because, the Industrial Revolution wanted robots, I forgot. Challenge these things. Rethink scale. Bigger scale is not always more productivity. In fact, yes, it's easy to measure from a financial point of view. We saved 3% or 5% on our computer purchase and our IT purchase and our facilities management, but you can't measure creativity so easily, can you? Or productivity. Going back to keeping things small. Rethink if you actually need that scale. Reduce bureaucracy. It is antithetical to innovation. And along that is rethink structure. And what I mean, I talked about this earlier in the ecosystem, is nothing in life does one thing. A tree does 20 things. The leaves provide shade. They fall on the ground. They decompose and provide soil. The roots bring water. It creates phosphates and nitrates. It does at least 20 things, right? We are part of an ecosystem together. So why, for example, do we define our structure in a little pyramid? I don't know. Think of other ways to do it. For example, this is an idea me and a mate of mine came up with, which is to actually, we're the lines here. There's operations, finance, R&D, marketing, but you are a string that goes around, and you can follow that string. Steve does as CEO a little bit of marketing, a bunch of sales, tiny bit of operations, a little bit of HR, and this and that. So instead of hierarchy, where you just say, that's him, now you actually understand my function and who I relate to. Just rethink these things. Stop accepting the old ways. Leapfrog. 6, embrace freedom at work. Why do we love freedom so much in our personal lives and hang it on the hook when we go to work? Why should I expect you to answer an email at 10 o'clock on Friday night or on a Saturday, but not take your dog for a walk or to the vet at 3 o'clock on Tuesday? Why? Because I'm an asshole or something? Why? I mean, it's ridiculous. So, if you're going to hire somebody, trust them. Give them the freedom. Eradicate fear. Number 7. Fear is evil. Fear is bad. Fear sucks. Fear is also antithetical to innovation. When you are afraid to speak up, to challenge, to create friction, to challenge relevance, to do any of these things, you're not going to, are you? You're going to, don't want to get fired, I'm just going to do my job. Shut up. Sorry, man. You have an environment of fear. You have an environment of insecurity. That is not innovation. Eradicate it. People over process. I'm not saying process is bad. I'm saying let your people in individual teams define their own process. Top-down process is idiotic. It's control, which is BS anyway. You control nothing. Let your own people say what is right for them. Let them decide in one team, when they want to do it this way, do it. Create your own little process. The people closest to problems are best suited to solve them. My view. Eliminate secrets. They create artificial power gaps. It's baloney anymore. I know something, but you don't. In the old days, I get it. Power was knowledge. These secrets were knowledge. But the new days, I believe sharing is power. Eliminate secrets. And on the same line, institute transparency. The free flow of information. In my company, nothing is closed. Somebody wants to know my revenue, my customer revenue, my customer profit, fine. I even share my profits now with my customers. I'll be like, yeah, it's 15% profit margin. What do you think? The other thing that boggles me is how in a day when everybody is just socially used to getting answers whenever they want, whether it's through the internet or some other way, can we possibly fathom that it's cool to keep information from people and that will somehow spur creativity? Doesn't. The more knowledge we have, the more understanding our ecosystem and what's going on, the more creative we are. Along these lines, release control. I kind of said it earlier, but delegate to the lowest possible level. These are the people that really understand the customer or the problem most. Flatten hierarchy. I blow it away. Titles, schmitles, whatever. I don't care anymore. Don't be so insecure. When you flatten hierarchy, you gain empowerment. Ask why, one of my favorites once. Ask why all the time. Challenge the system. I get employees asking me why all the time. Why were you doing that on the call, Steve? Why did you say this? Why, whatever. Do it. Unless I am challenged, unless there is these obstacles, we will not grow. Trust implicitly. Why do I hire somebody and then micromanage them? Do you want to, would you call your boyfriend up every 2 minutes? What are you doing? How are you doing it? Where are you now? Who are you with? Is it annoying? Do you feel innovative? No, you feel annoyed and suppressed. Rethink pay. This is a tough one for a lot of bosses, but I think whatever this number is, for us it's 10. We have a gap of 10. We're the lowest and the highest. And that lowest for me is the cleaner. Doesn't make any more than my salary. And come on, we all know this crap. We all feel it. Well, why does that CEO make $4 million when I'm doing all the work? We know it annoys us. And we know it's really not fair, because we're a team. Eradicate politics, again, antithetical to growth. If you have to sit there and worry about being backstabbed and all this other stuff, are you kidding? And one of the ways to eradicate politics is to institute transparency and no secrets. No management without leadership. I'm going to try to blow through these. And what I mean by that is we hear a lot of McKinsey-type stuff of managers and leaders and whatever. No. Managers are worthless if they're not also leaders. So I would say all the managers should be leaders. Talk direct and take action, meaning we take the risks first. You are the shining example for the rest of employees unless you take that leap of faith first. Why would I follow you? 19, embrace humanity. I touched on this earlier because business is personal. It is us. And I'm not talking lip service like HR does. It's like, oh, people are our most valuable assets. They're assets. They're resources. They're people. Mrs. HR, I'm sorry. We're not assets or resources. We are people. So I'd like to challenge you, and I'm going to leave off with this. I want to challenge you guys to make a choice. A little Matrix reference here. You can take the blue pill. I can't remember if this was the good or the bad pill. But you can take the blue pill and sort of live the old way and follow the rules that you've inherited and not challenge them and not leapfrog and just copy the past. You can do that and live a life gone by and basically experience decline and frustration in your business and in your personal life. You will, I guarantee it. We can feel it all around us. Or you can take the red pill, it's going to be the good pill, break crystallization, smash it, embrace change, realize that innovation must be felt on a very profoundly human level. Oopsie. End the meaninglessness of life in work and create meaning. And by doing that, also create story for people, the sense of story in life. Let them live their lives while working, whether that's bringing in their hobbies, their passions, doing their hobbies and passions while at work. Let them live a story during their life, not when they're retired. I'll finish with this final quote that sort of sums it up, that it's become appallingly obvious that technology has outstripped or exceeded humanity. And we must catch up. We cannot build a civilization by giving a platform to idiots and silencing those intelligent people that challenge. We cannot. I want you to go out there and challenge our old ways of thinking to make our planet better, but more importantly, to profoundly impact your community, your environment, your growth, your development, and your humanity here in Latvia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve.
All right.
Vai zālē ir kāds jautājums pēc šādas prezentācijas, kurā droši vien prāta vētras dziesmas vārdiem sakot, kaut kam ir jābūt? Anyway, Steve, that what you told here in this audience may sound strange, probably, because I may assume that there is some 90% of the people that are thinking about highest yield, bigger profits, moving faster, invest smarter, and doing everything else. What for you to mean to humanize the business? You are running it 2 companies. How do they look like?
How do they look like?
Yeah, the MammothDB and Xentio.
I do every one of these things in our company. We put people over profit, and we really prioritize culture over profit as well. We do everything. So, for example, we have 2 rules. Customer is happy, team is happy. Apart from that, honestly, don't care. You know, we trust implicitly. Everything is open. My numbers are open. My financials are open. It feels like freedom. Like in our companies, even though we're in IT, we have a 2% turnover. That is insane in IT. I mean, we're competing with huge multinationals like SAP and VMware and all these others, and we have the turnover not because we're paying 8 times more than them or something. Or
do you have working hours?
We do not.
You don't?
We do not. And guess what? Even in manufacturing, this works. There's a company here in Europe called Favi. They make copper wires and things like that in France. They've instituted these ideas, and it works amazing. Profit has gone up. My point is that short term, yeah, you can squeeze out profit by using these old methods. But long term, no, that is not sustainability. A long-term sustainable business puts people over profit and understands that people are business.
Okay, thank you.
I'm passionate about that, so.
Dāmas un kungi, vai kāds jautājums? Jā, palīdziet mums ar mikrofonu rekurs zāles vidū. Paldies. Jautājums var uzdot arī latviešu valodā, nav obligāti, tā teikt, jācenšas. Ja?
So, actually, your presentation, what would you do the same if you have to present your ideas to Apple, Google, and Facebook? I think they have absolutely totally different approach.
And I would say they do have an approach, and they're wrong. And this is why these companies, as they get larger, become crap. So everybody sees this. Like Microsoft used to be cool. It's not so cool. HP used to be cool. When was the last time HP innovated something? They can't. Sanofi used to be cool. When their CEO came out 2 years ago and said, we cannot innovate. We must acquire to innovate. This is why companies go from cool to not cool, and they go from innovative to mergers and acquisitions, and they innovate through acquisition. They cannot innovate. So yeah, Apple, Google, whatever. I mean, there's some small examples where, okay, they've innovated on design. Yes, Steve Jobs was a genius. But I would say the majority of large companies out there, I mean, okay, these are, but you know, where's Apple going now after Jobs, unfortunately, has left us? No, I would say sorry guys, your time has passed, and this is why big companies have this natural decline. Not because the company itself might be mature, because their leadership is mature.
So, one more question from the audience.
That was a good one.
Rise up your hand once more. Okay.
Anyone else? Oh yeah, okay.
Yes, Lūdzu.
Labdien visiem! Jautājums, es, protams, varētu uzdot angliski, bet es uzdošu latviski. Ko jūs dariet, ja jūs aiziet uz banku un vēlētos saņemt investīcijas un jums prasīt biznesa plānu?
That's actually happened to us.
Protams, to jautāju. Of course, I'm asking this because every bank would ask business plan in Latvia.
Yeah, so even worse in Bulgaria, where we are, not only, even though we've banked with this particular bank for 7 years, and we have positive year-over-year revenue growth and a profit and a reasonable sort of like overall account, we asked for a line of credit. You know what they said? Can you put up a building or a house or your personal house as an asset? You would never get this in Australia or US or UK, or probably not in Sweden. So not only do they want a business plan, they want an asset. We basically told them no. That's what we said. We said, you know what? If we have to put up our own personal assets anyway, I will personally dig into my pockets and provide the line of credit. So we went to our friends and family and we raised the line of credit instead, because I refuse to work with banks that are so antiquated and so basically evil to me that I have to be on personal line anyway, on the hook. So if I'm going to be on the hook personally, well, I'm going to personally be on the hook to myself, not you, Mr. Bank, and give you another 8%. The same thing happened to us with VCs that wanted these big business plans. We just said no. And we pointed a little bit, thankfully, in Stanford, there's this huge generation coming out of like an anti-business plan. It's just more the customer business canvas. It's like a one-page thing. So we did do that. We said, hey, listen, business plans are stupid. We have no idea what's going to happen in 5 years, leave alone 3 years, leave alone 1 year. Basically, 6 months is probably a horizon, realistically, that we can kind of guess what's going to happen. So I said, here's 6-month business canvas model. If you don't like it, no. I mean, we're stubborn, yes, but we were going to do it our way. We're passionate about changing it, and I'm not going to pander to these old business ways.
Thank you. Dāmas un kungi, Steve's Keils.